Hello everyone. First of all, huge apologies that I can't make it in person this year. I can honestly say no one's more disappointed than me. I always very much enjoy our annual CPRE gathering. But there were a few thoughts that I thought it would be good to share with you perhaps today. Some of it won't be news. We have a housing crisis in our countryside. The shocking truth is that rural homelessness in England has leapt 40% over the last 5 years. At current rates of construction, it's going to take 93 years to clear the list of 300,000 people in rural England who are waiting for a home. Here in Somerset, demand for social housing far outweighs supply. In April 2023, there were nearly 12,000 applicants on the Home Finders Somerset scheme. In the year leading up to that date, only 2,000 homes were advertised. House prices in the countryside have increased at almost twice the rate of those in urban areas over the last 5 years. Rural wages have, of course, stagnated and, unfortunately, are completely out of step with these increases. It couldn't be clearer that rural communities are being left behind, with people forced to leave the areas in which they grew up. It's draining our countryside of skills, economic activity, and vital public services. It's breaking up families, and it's leaving older and more vulnerable people more isolated. In other words, we need more houses. Now, I bet some people in the audience today might be letting out a little gasp at the president of CPRE Somerset talking about more houses. After all, surely CPRE is the charity for NIMBYs, isn't it? Well, if that's your impression of CPRE, then it is definitely time to take another look at everything we do. There's a lot of talk these days about echo chambers, particularly on social media. People shutting down debate and just surrounding themselves with people who agree with their view of the world. But history tells us that surrounding yourself with yes men and women doesn't often end well. That's why, for years, CPRE Somerset have organised events like today as part of our AGM. We want to share our ideas, to hear perspectives from people outside CPRE and to listen to others. We're always happy, of course, to welcome our loyal CPRE members, and we thank you all for your support of our small but extremely busy extremely busy charity. At the same time, we make a real effort to invite non-CPRE members like parish councils, community groups and council staff, and of course our loyal members, to events like this as well. We're delighted to have a really mixed audience today, and we look forward to hearing your points of view in the discussion that takes place after Nicholas's talk. I'd really encourage you, if you can, to stay on just a little bit longer this afternoon for the CPRE Somerset AGM. I know that's rich coming from me since I'm not even there, but I really think it'll be worthwhile. And as I've said, I'm very sad not to be joining you. It's not going to take up much of your time, but it's going to open your eyes to the huge amount of work done by this very small Somerset charity, which I'm proud to be the president of. You might already know that we help community groups with specialist advice to help them to challenge inaccurate claims made by developers. But did you also know, for instance, that we have a small army of litter gatherers of all ages across the whole county? Did you know that we offer grants to parish councils to restore our much-loved cast-iron finger-post road signs? Well, if you don't, then please stay to the end to learn more about what we do. So, back to the burning house. Do we really want more houses in our countryside? CPRE has been speaking up for the countryside for almost 100 years. Of course, CPRE wants to protect our countryside. The clue is, of course, in our name. But that doesn't mean that we want things to stay just as they are. We absolutely recognise the need for more rural housing, but, and here's the key message, we need our housing developments to be better and to work harder for people and for nature. The UK is sadly one of the most nature-depleted countries in the world. We're facing a climate and ecological crisis. It's also never been clearer that we humans need contact with nature and contact with each other in order to be healthy and happy. The last time we counted, Somerset had enough brownfield land for well over 6,000 homes. Let's absolutely try to develop those first. After all, brownfield land is likely to be near existing services. Even villages have pockets of brownfield land. Did you know that? But let's also be realistic. If we accept that we must lose more of our green and pleasant land to housing, let's help local communities to make something wonderful. Together, let's make new places which look and feel beautiful. Let's build places with nature and community spaces on people's doorsteps. Let's make places with accessible links to local shops and facilities. And we don't mean accessible to just those people with 2 cars in the garage. I'm really sorry, as I've said, that I can't be with you today to hear what Nicholas is going to say, but I know it's going to be inspiring, and I hope that we can find ways to work together because of today. If we can raise expectations of the kind of places we deserve to see built in Somerset, then that's going to be a brilliant result. Thank you so much for listening, and excuse the woolly jumper, but my central heating is broken. Take care. Goodbye.